Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Aces High. Today we are talking about stereotypes. So, stereotypes, they always come from some type of thing that someone saw, someone experienced with something, I mean, it could start from just a joke, but typically they start from something that someone saw and kind of builds off that, and people just make assumptions about other people. Today we're talking about British stereotypes. So when I think of British stereotypes, I think off the top of my head, I think bad teeth. I think they drink a lot of tea. I think very pompous, very know-it-all, you know. Um, and I mean, through this channel specifically, I've had a lot of experience with my British viewers, and y'all do drink a lot of tea, but other than that, I don't think those other ones are true. But we'll see what's on the list, okay? One other thing. Uh, Speaking of tea, I had somebody the other day comment that they drink their tea with milk. Is that common? I mean, is it? I've never had tea with milk. I've had it with a little bit of sugar, but that's about it. It's just tea. Is it really that common to drink tea with milk? Let me know down in the comments. I'd really love to know. Anyway, let's get watching, and yeah, hope you guys dig it.
Today we are back to stereotypes. Social psychologists tell us there's nothing wrong with stereotyping and sometimes what we think is true. They give the example of young men committing more violent crimes than other male age groups or women. It's just a fact.
Hmm.
Statistics back this up. As we saw in other shows, not all Americans are overweight, carry guns, or are patriotic, but a good number of people in the States can tick some of those boxes,
I mean, I'm
often all
overweight.
three. We also saw that while Russian men are not all macho, there is some truth to how Russian culture has propagated the image of the tough guy. But what about those Brits? Are they all tea drinking, cricket loving geezers with a stiff upper lip? That's what we'll find out in today's episode of the Infographic Show, Common Stereotypes About the British. Don't forget to subscribe
Okay.
and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. Let's
Same goes
start
for
with the
my
tea.
channel.
Do Brits drink the stuff like water, imbibing their Tetleys and Yorkshire tea throughout each and every day? Well, according to the UK Tea and Infusions Association,
I'm going
yes, that
yes.
really exists, 165 million cups of tea are served daily in the UK, which is 60.2 billion cups per
I
year. The
believe that.
population of the UK is about 65.6 million, so those Brits are consuming almost 3 cups a day each. According to an article in The Atlantic, the biggest tea
Wow.
drinkers in the world are the Brits, with China, Turkey, and Ireland also big on tea. Unlike some other countries, though, the
You
Brits
guys,
stick mainly
wow.
with what is sometimes called English tea. 96% of the time it comes from a bag, and 98% of the time it's drank with milk. According to
Okay,
Statistica,
so you do drink it with
37%
milk.
of Brits drink 2 or 3 cups a day, 21% said 4 or 5 cups, 7% said 6 to 8 cups, and a few folks 9 or 10 cups. There's no doubt about it, those Brits are hooked on their cuppas.
That's how much
Okay, so
coffee I
now let's
drink.
get
So you
down to
guys drink
perhaps a more
tea like I
unappealing
drink
stereotype.
coffee.
After all, we've picked on Americans enough. We noticed that when we last mentioned the Brits had bad teeth, a lot of people expressed in the
Okay.
comments that this was not true at all. Was The Simpsons wrong to laugh at British teeth when they created the Big Book of British Smiles as a warning to cartoon American children? Was the Seattle grunge band Mudhoney wrong to name an EP Boiled Beef and Rotting Teeth,
Hey, that's
jokingly
a local
prodding the
band
Brits?
from here.
According to dental statistics, yes, they were. According to 2015 OECD data, in terms of decayed, missing, or filled teeth, the Brits, along with Germany, actually have the best teeth in the world. According to
Really?
DMFT, Decayed, Missing, Filled Index, the worst oral hygiene in the world is in Ecuador, Cambodia, and worst of all, Grenada. The
I
same
thought
data
that one
says
was
the
true.
Brits
I
have
thought
the
you guys had
fourth best
horrible
teeth in the
teeth.
world, while the Americans come ninth. So take that, Simpsons. Denmark came first
Huh.
on the list. The BBC writes that the myth of bad British teeth is mostly American made. It may have held some truth in the 70s, says the BCC, but it's all changed now. The Brits can now stand tall and smile wide and proudly cite any number of statistics that say their teeth are in a better state on average than those Yanks over there in TV Smile Land. So when they are not drinking tea or brushing their teeth, those Brits are obviously talking about the weather, especially those in rainy Manchester. Do they really go on and on about the weather? According to most websites we can find, yes they do. The reason is
Really?
the unpredictability of the British weather due to its maritime climate. The Brits can't be sure what's going to happen from one hour to the next, so they chat about what's happening and what might happen.
See, that's where I think I agree with you guys. So, the US, obviously, it's a very big place. We have our deserts, we have our Great Plains, we have all these different areas. But the Pacific Northwest, specifically Washington, they make jokes just like that, where people will say, "You never know Washington weather. In 5 minutes, it could be sunny right now. In 5 minutes, it'll be raining. 5 minutes later, it'll be snowing." It's the same type of thing, and it makes sense because we're very similar. We're very similar where we have water on our west side. We have the same type of what is it, currents and everything, and wind, very similar wind patterns and all that. So it makes sense that our weather is a lot like Great Britain, at least in the Pacific Northwest section of the United States.
In fact, it borders on insanity how much they talk about the weather. In 2015, the BBC cited research that said all over the UK, 94% of people will have talked about the weather in the last 6 hours. That's every day of the
Wow,
week, all
that's
year,
actually a lot.
almost the entire country is weather small talking. When website Expat Insider took a poll on worst weather in the world by country, the UK was 58th out of 64 countries. Belgium came last. The weather is so bad in the UK that if they have a few days of sunshine and heat, it's first greeted with cheers, and later there are droughts and pink-skinned northerners passing out muttering the words, "It's cracking the flags." Some Brits might understand what that means, and also
What?
know it's pronounced in the north, cracking flags. Talking about how those Brits talk, do
Is
they
that
really all
true?
have accents no one outside of Britain can understand? This is true and not true. Some Brits speak very clearly, and you could say these are all mostly your middle and upper class variety of Brits. Yes, they still talk about class over there in that funny old land. According to the Telegraph, Britain indeed is a country of very complex accents. They mention the accents of Cockney in London, Brummie in Birmingham, West Country in Somerset and beyond, South Wales, Scouse in Liverpool, Scottish and Geordie, Newcastle, among others. Imagine traveling through
So I
Yorkshire
know
and
that you
someone
guys are
tells you, "Put wood in
locals.
tow, was that born in a barn?" That means, please close the door. You go up to Scotland and
Hmm,
someone turns to you and says, "It's boiling out." He's trying to tell you today
it's
the
hot.
weather is hot. All over the
That's easy.
UK, you'll find accents that you can't believe are the English language. Not every
So I know that it's easier to understand languages and accents, even if they're tougher accents, when you're from that country. Are there any British accents in particular that you guys or that my British viewers cannot understand very well, or that even you struggle to understand? Let me know down in the comments because I think that would be a lot of fun to find out.
Everyone speaks with a BBC accent, or Queen's English. Why does the UK have so many regional accents compared to the rest of the world? It's complicated, but has a lot to do with social standing, communities that identify with accents, and of course, all the tribes that lived on the British Isles, including Celts, Angles, Saxon, Jutes, German, and Norse tribes. Medieval French became the language after Old English, and Latin was spoken as well. All those tribes and all those languages have led to this confusion of British accents. As for the Queen, do all Brits love her? Actually, that's hardly even close to the truth. She's
Really?
probably more popular in the US than she is in the UK. In
No
Scotland,
way.
the Queen is less liked than in England.
I
While
disagree
polls
with that.
suggest that about 75% of Brits are in favor of keeping the monarchy, the days are long gone when the UK population worshipped the royal family. The Queen is more of a novelty these days, fodder for those infamous tabloids. Are the Brits
Huh.
overly polite? Well, there is certainly a culture of yobism over there on the small island, but you will
I
find
don't
that
think
Brits
so.
agree that they know better than anyone how to form an orderly queue. In fact, most people there are so polite they apologize even when they are in the right. When The Independent cited a British Council report about what the rest of the world thinks about the Brits, the answer was boozy, ignorant, intolerant, but very polite. You'll find Brits do binge drink, but the country is only 25th on the world alcohol consumption list. Are they intolerant? Well, Brexit might answer that, but we won't go there today. Polite is probably true, as good manners are important in the UK, and that goes across all classes. We can trace some of this back to the Victorian
Good.
era
You
in
should have
Britain,
good
when
manners.
etiquette and manners were expected from everyone. Finally, is British food really that bad? This isn't easy to answer. You can find restaurants from two of the world's most famous chefs in the UK, those of Jamie Oliver and Gordon Ramsay. Amazing cuisine can be found in every city, but you'll also find many poorer people living on a diet of Tesco value foods, cheap sweet ciders
That
that
looks
come in
like an
massive plastic
American.
bottles, and basically eating a lot of bad processed food that comes out of boxes and tins. Yes, Britain is home to the greasy cafe and fried egg sandwiches, but you'll also find some of the best Indian food in the world, as well as great French and Italian food. Traditional British food, such as roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, is not bad at all. Still, if we put British cuisine against other countries' cuisines, it might be said to be lacking. We checked a number of websites for best cuisines in the world, and British
It's
food
not British.
wasn't on any of them. So, cheerio for now. Let
Huh.
us know in the comments
All
if
right.
we've missed any common
All
British
right,
food.
you guys. That was interesting for sure. Uh, I agree with some of those stereotypes. I don't agree with some others. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. And I love watching these type of videos. I know that some of you don't like the infographic show. I like some videos by them. I don't like some by them. But I really like this one. I did. Anyway, hope you guys dug it. Till next time, this is Say I'm out.